Alright, you guys, welcome to another episode of Football Roundup. I don't know what's been going on with all the leagues recently, but we're finally got some football going, and one of the biggest games of the week was Tottenham going up against Southampton, and this team is looking different now. I feel like Mourinho didn't really have a creative player. I know he wanted Dele Alli to really step up, and obviously that didn't work out, but now it seems like he has Kane more as a provider. I mean, he had such a great game, and him and Son just seem to understand each other, and I can only imagine how he's going to switch things up once Bale gets into rhythm and has another attacker on the wing, because Kane was going wide the whole game, providing passes. And I mean, Son, I love Son, so he's a baller, and he's gonna, under Mourinho, I think he has a chance of becoming one of the top goal scorers in the league, and definitely help Tottenham get at least top 4. And I know Mourinho he doesn't play to get top 4, but he'll be happy to have Son with him and Kane, and definitely now with Bale, he's definitely gonna fight for the league, and he's gonna get into the Champions League for sure. And this season is really the season where he needs to step up, and he needs to prove that he is still a great manager that can still bring teams that aren't necessarily, fighting for the title, and make them teams to fight for titles and compete in every competition, because that's what Mourinho does. He doesn't just play for the league, he plays for the league, the cup, and the Champions League. So it was a great game. 4 goals by Son, he's a beast. Kane with 4 assists, again being more of a playmaker, playing a little bit out wide, and still managed to get his goal because he's a goal scorer. I mean, he just knows where to be in the box looking for a goal, whether that be toe poking it in or being open for the pass. Another big game, probably the biggest game of this week, Chelsea Liverpool, and man, what a game that was. I mean, I guess I don't know. I feel like Chelsea really thought they needed Pulisic. I know Pulisic is a great player, but I don't think he's, personally, I don't think he's going to be the type of player to really change the game. I really like Pulisic. I think he's a great player. I just don't think he's the type of player that you can rely on for him to make the difference. He will make a difference, but he's not your go-to guy where someone like Hazard was there. He was kind of the guy where you would just give him the ball and be like, yo, do your thing, man, do your thing. I know you could take on 2-3 players, put in a good ball, and then we'll either score or we'll have a good chance. Pulisic wasn't able to play, and Liverpool, they just show why they're the best team. Honestly, they had the goal with Firmino and Mane. The team play that was made there was, what can you do? It was beautiful. I mean, even Klopp was like, all you have to do is header it in, goal. A weird tackle from Christensen, and he just tackled Mane to get a red card. It was really dumb. And speaking of mistakes, Christensen, I guess, I mean, he has to do what he has to do. It was lack of communication. The goalie came out. Goalie should have said, hey, yelled out, I got it, get out the way, I got this. Probably lack of communication. Christensen tackled them from behind, and now they're a man down. But then Kepa makes a mistake where it's so unbelievable for a goalie at the highest level. And then to make things worse, Kepa is the most expensive goalie of all time. £72 million for this goalie. And for him to commit a mistake that's so silly, so much lack of awareness from a goalie that costs £72 million, the most expensive goalie of all time, I think everyone expected better from him. And I mean, by now he has to have, I guess, a top 10 list for mistakes that he's made, and it's just not acceptable, especially at a club like Chelsea, where that they're going to fight for the title. They're going to fight to get into the European competitions. They're going to fight in all competitions, and you really need a solid goalie backing you up. And obviously, the defense needs to do their part, but your goalie is your last resort, and there's no way he should be giving out goals so easily to the opponent. It's Kepa. I don't know. Alright, next up, Crystal Palace against Manchester United. You know, it was a weird thing, I guess. Pogba was coming back. It was Ole's first game. Donny van de Beek looking to make his first appearance. And United their defense is just, it's all over the place. I believe it was the first goal. The Townsend goal, which comes from a lack of pressure from Lindelof, where you're supposed to be blocking the cross. What are you doing? Like, stick your leg. Like, I understand if you go for the ball and he just gets the cross through, but there was no intensity from Lindelof. There was no effort to make the block. And Shaw, on the other end, doesn't run back to guard the pass. Lets Townsend run in from behind and just for the easy tap in. And Shaw, I know he was a fast player. I still think he's really fast, but obviously all these injuries throughout the years have probably made him slower. You know, he probably is a little, I don't know. He's obviously not the same as before. But this is tactics. This is football 101. This is just, he shouldn't need someone to tell him that that's where he needs to be and that's who he needs to guard. There's no one else for the cross to go to except Townsend. And Lindelof and Shaw is ahead, sees him, and then chooses not to run until Townsend is already ahead, and by that point it's too late. So the defense is United's biggest problem at the moment. You could say that their offense needs a little bit more fine-tuning. Pogba was, he was getting back into rhythm. Greenwood's still very, very young. I'm glad they gave him a lot more minutes. Rashford needs to be more consistent. He's a great player. He just needs more consistency in performing. Martial as well. We need more clinical strikers up front. Bruno had a decent game, and Donny van de Beek made his debut and got his first goal. He actually had a pretty decent game. He came in with a lot of energy, really tried to spark up some motivation in the team, and it was too late by then. Zaha punishing his former team, 2 goals, exposing United's defense. They need to decide who they want to keep as a center back. Maguire, who I think he's solid. I think he makes less mistakes than Lindelof. So I'm wondering if maybe Maguire and Bailly might be. I know Bailly's just injury prone all the time, so hopefully he becomes a first team player more consistently, or they definitely need to invest in another center back. I think the right back with Wan-Bissaka is. I love Wan-Bissaka. He's a baller. Left back Shaw. I think he could still play. He just needs. He needs to realize he's at Manchester United. I know that United hasn't been competing for the title for the league in a while. They haven't been, one of the biggest teams in all competitions in Europe or in England. But he's in Manchester United. They demand effort at the very least. But it's, I think he's still okay at United. Just definitely needs to be more aware of, hey, like, you know where you're at, right? You know that you're at Manchester United. You're at one of the biggest, if not the biggest club in the world, right? So next up, Everton, West Brom. I was very excited about James playing. I still can't believe Real Madrid let him go. I never thought he should have left Madrid. I always thought he was good enough for Madrid, but whatever, besides the point. He had a great game, had a goal, had an assist. Everton just looked like, they were just obviously the better team, and we'll see how they do better on. But that game went crazy for no reason. I mean, Gibbs just smacked James in the face for no reason. Then the manager gets a red at halftime. It got a little bit ugly in the end, but at the end, Everton was just way better as a team. Arsenal, West Ham, standard performance from Arsenal. Pretty difficult game, but they were better as a team. It's freaking weird seeing Willian wearing an Arsenal jersey, but with Lacazette with the goal, hopefully he could, him and Aubameyang have another great season. I know the Gunners are happy that Aubameyang is staying. I don't know what you guys would do without him. In Spain, Real Madrid couldn't get the win against Sociedad, and Sociedad is a good team. They're a solid team. But Real Madrid have to do better. They have to at least get a goal. And I feel like it's one of the problems that they've been having ever since Ronaldo left, where if Benzema doesn't score, no one scores. If Benzema's not scoring, then no one's scoring. They have the players, and I'm glad that Odegaard is there. I love Odegaard. I think he'll be a key player for years to come at Real. And he had a great game. I think Rodrigo had an okay game. He needs a little bit. He either needs to bulk up and play a little bit more physical. But it's just there's no killers in that team besides Benzema, and Benzema loves to build up the play. He likes to drop. He likes to pick up 1-2 passes here and there. He likes to go out wide, receive the ball there. He likes to play with his back to goal, lay it off. He's such a great player, but he's their only goal scorer. Without him, it's like who's putting up these numbers? No one. What, Ramos? Well, Sergio Ramos is supposed why do we have anyone else in the attack if it's Ramos and Benzi scoring all these goals? Whatever. 0-0. Now in Italy, in Serie A, Juventus played their first game against Sampdoria. I saw a stat where I guess Ronaldo had played them 3 times, and he had four goals against them, which is great, and he scored in every time he played them. But I saw that in his 2 seasons at Juventus, he hadn't scored in the first game, and he almost didn't this game as well. But he ended up scoring towards the end, I believe, like in the 88th minute or something like that. He had a great game. Juve had a great game. They have this new big Swedish guy up front, replacing Higuain. It looked like that transfer for Suarez fell through, and now they're going to get in Dzeko. Interesting way of playing from Pirlo. I mean, I'm not going to doubt that he doesn't know what he's doing. He's a very smart player. I'm sure he could do it as a manager. Looking forward to seeing more of Dybala, Ronaldo with Pirlo as manager. Inter, of course, probably the only team that can compete. I guess confirming today that they're getting Vidal, which should help them out a lot. Vidal is such a great player. Such a shame that Barcelona just didn't know how to use him. I still remember him playing as a right midfielder at Barcelona, thinking, why? When have you ever seen Vidal as a right midfielder? And he balled out. Okay, when was this? When was this? Whatever. Anyways, Inter has a great team. I just don't think they have what it takes, man. The fact that Lautaro's still there, Lukaku's still there, Alexis is there as a backup. They still have a solid defense, great goalie. With Vidal in the mid, it should definitely help them out. I just don't think, Serie A is a very defensive league. They place a huge importance on defending and positioning. So if they just can't score a couple games, couple draws here and there, that's what's going to be what cost them the league, which is what cost them the league last season. And yeah, it just looks like Juve is going to take it again, man. Honestly, Juve is just that good, and obviously, they're competing for the Champions League. They don't care about the league anymore, pretty much. In the Mexican league, my